Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Manny and Angelina. Happy birthday to you.
I don't think it's neither one of us. No, it's not mine.
It was mine a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay, good. Happy belated.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show, Giovanni.
Thank you, Manny.
It's great to have you.
You too.
It's a funny story of how we met, and and then now you're here on the show, which is great. We're gonna have a really cool show. We're gonna talk about life coaching. We're gonna talk about marriage coaching. We're gonna talk about couples coaching. Go. So there are 3 different types of coaching, right? You don't approach it the same way.
Interesting that you say that. There are 3 different distinct types of coaching, but they overlap.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because when you talk about in a relationship, if it's marriage, any type of relationship, you're bringing yourself.
Yes.
And I believe it's the strength of each person as the base. And then we discuss the relationship. Some people do it like, you know, they're going to discuss the relationship, but it's like you have to first make sure that each person is secure in themselves. Each person has certain...
Oh, we got lots to talk about.
Okay.
We're gonna talk. Let me do a few shout outs. I totally forgot on the last show, so I'll give him credit. Fabio, so just because I got the cameras there. FNN working. Here you go. Thanks, Fabio. I was wearing your tee. I'm just throwing it on the ground right now, so deal with it. And then I'm wearing Sustainment because we had the boys in here and we're doing their show, Sustainment Construction. That show is going to be coming out soon. That's it. So now I want to give your deets out. So it's www.inspireyourselflc.org. And then to reach Giovanni is inspireyourselflc@gmail.com. And then on IG, you can find them at life_coach_Toronto. And then also his phone number is 647-231-5727. I want to begin with couples coaching because I've been in relationships, and I guess when things get rocky, it's always like, let's go see somebody. It's never about, should I go see somebody? It's always like the collective, the 2 people go and see somebody to discuss that relationship. So it's interesting that you started the show by talking about you as the individual first. Yeah. Why is that?
I think what makes a relationship a great relationship, the basis is when both people are secure. Period.
Why do we lose that security?
So that's the basis of my coaching, especially the life coaching. Everybody's already secure. I believe everybody already has high self-love. Everybody's already secure. It's the conditioning that we get that blocks us from expressing like what's natural to us.
And that conditioning is coming from what? From how you were raised, how you had other relationships, how your friends think a relationship should be. Is it all like everything? So
taking like the base of it, it's how you were raised and what you hear around you and the decisions you make going along the way.
Is there a disconnection when you start paying attention to how social media is dictating what a relationship is, or how movies dictate a relationship is?
Yeah. So again, I think relationship comes secondary.
Okay.
It's primary, the person. So I think social media, so I don't like to blame social media because I think it's...
I'll do that.
Okay. In the sense, if you feel good about yourself, no app is going to, change that. It can influence you, but the basis is you. You know what I mean? But what social media does is it builds up this significance need that I'll talk about like throughout the whole show. There's 6 human needs, and we all have a need to feel significant, special, needed, wanted. Because we think that if we're significant, we're going to earn love and connection. Okay. Which is what we really want.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It 100% makes sense.
So everybody wants to be cool and good looking and this, and then look this way, look that way, that way. And social media gives you that platform to blow that up.
But is that wrongfully connected to being high value?
Could you rephrase the question?
Meaning we want to be significant, so we try to make ourselves seem bigger and better and more desirable than what we really are. So we portray a false image of who we are online to attract someone. They think you're significant, so then they think you're a high value person. Right. I want to be with that person. But that's just a portrayal.
Yeah.
So how does one get in and out of that trap? Because I guess it becomes a couple's relationship catfishing, so to speak. Like everyone always has a persona. Right. We're not the same person that we are when we first meet somebody. And then when the layers unfold.
I was talking about this with my friend yesterday. She goes, everybody kind of does that to an extent. They kind of like chameleon themselves.
Yes.
And that's natural. The truth is that we have different personalities, but we don't tell ourselves that, because if we tell ourselves that, we're going to feel like we're crazy.
Yeah.
But the truth is that we have different personalities. But the question is, how much do you do that? You know what I mean?
Should you do that?
No.
So should you just like, this is me.
Yeah.
That's all. This is me.
Yeah.
But nobody does that.
Yeah, because people think that something's wrong with them.
If they're being truthful.
Yeah. Like they think something's wrong with them.
But hasn't society taught us not to be attractive to the this is me people? That they're open and they're honest and they're sharing and they're not as high valued, so to speak, as other desirable people. So they're concerned that, like, it's easier for a woman to find somebody than it is a man to find somebody, right? Like, we can kind of agree on that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's just like men have fewer picks to connect with. Women have more picks to connect with.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
But are they quality picks?
That's, I think, comes with age. You start realizing all those things that were so superficial when you were younger and you're just starting to date have no value or meaning when you get older, when you want to start to connect, right? Like I've gone through this. I mean, in the 20s, you go through a certain type of person you're related to, you're connected with. Then as you grow older, you're like, all these little things that I added value to mean shit to me now. I do not care about. Like me personally, and I'll share this, is that if you can't communicate with me, whether you're a man or a woman, whatever, I lose interest in you. Yeah. If you can't like carry a conversation about, I'm not saying that I want to be confrontational. I'm not talking about, let's have some really dynamic conversations about political and all this. I'm not talking about that shit like that. I'm just talking about what are your interests, whether how you grew up, where your family is from, what made you as a person, like why do you like this? Why do you like red M&Ms instead of blue M&Ms? Like shit like that. Like what makes you unique, right? So it's just like, I only eat Hershey Kisses or Maltesers. That's all I eat, right? So it's like there's thousands of different kinds of chocolates, but those are the ones. Why? Why is it that I go to those ones? So when you get older, those stupid details that we were so hung up on, they're not there.
Yeah, 100%. In your 20s and 30s, you're more focused on significance, especially your 20s.
Yes.
And then you kind of try to bring that into your 30s. So in your 20s, it's the guy that's, working hard. He's, making it big in a business, in his suit, making money. He's the man. He's working out. He wants big muscles and whatever, like that, like for the significance part. And then the girl, she's, dressing a certain way, and you could go to a club and just see it. And I don't want to talk bad about women. I'm just saying that's what a lot of them do, even though they're not like that. That's what they do.
Well, both sexes.
And I'm saying they're both doing that.
They use physical
Yeah.
to begin the conversation.
Yes. Physical, and it's also like, guys will talk about themselves or the money they're making or the job or whatever. So they're doing it, surface level stuff.
Is it harder for later on? Because I want to go through the whole gambit of life, right? So in statistically speaking, right, marriages are not lasting. Relationships are not lasting. Right. People spend more time with the lease of a car than they do in a relationship these days, which is totally sad. I'm not joking. Like you can get a 48-month lease and the car never breaks down. You can always bring it back and fix it, and that's it. Then you give it back and you're done. But the relationship is ending even before that car's lease is done, right? So it's just what happens when you think you found the right person. It's not working out. It didn't work out, but you chose to get married. You chose to have children. Didn't work out, and now you've got a split, right? So I guess there's so many questions to ask you is, how do you salvage that? How do you rekindle it? Should you rekindle it? So many things like that. And then you start all over again with the dating when you're in your 30s, when you're in your 40s. Yeah. And now you're a single dad, mom, ex-husband, wife, and now you're back on the market, and now you're dating again. And all of a sudden, that's how you get certain older apps that are catered towards older people trying to reconnect with older people. Right. So
I'm trying to decide. There was like a few questions.
Well, there's a shitload of questions. I mean, there's all kinds of, I guess let's stay with the beginning parts, and then we can just work our way through it. But yeah, it's just like, okay, so dating and we start with the physical, and we
in your 20s mostly.
Yeah.
That's like more important in your 20s. and to a point in your 30s. And I'm not saying it's not just physical, it's the surface. I don't know if it's even surface level things, because it makes evolutionary sense.
Yes.
In the sense, if a woman is healthy, if she's young and healthy, she has a better chance at bearing children.
Yes.
So it makes sense. If a man is physically strong and making a lot of money, it makes sense because he's providing resources. Now, for anybody that's watching, I'm not saying women cannot provide resources as well.
Yeah, for sure.
This isn't like a
Yeah.
battle, but I'm saying traditionally it's set up that way, or it is like that way, evolutionary. So it makes sense. And in your 30s, the guy's kind of building more. The woman could do it too, but I'm saying, I think a guy's mindset is more, okay, build my business, getting ready for the family. The woman starts, I even have clients where in their 30s, you could tell they want kids now. They're feeling it. Physically, they're feeling it. And then I think in your 40s, you start going, oh my God, I've worked so hard. I've built my life. I've built, finances. I'm still working, obviously, but there's got to be something more to life. And that's where like love and connection comes in more. And you'll hear women say this all the time. And I think, I know you're going to ask me the questions later, but some guys are still in the mode, like, I got to work. And the woman's like, that's great. I love the financial support. I also need some connection with you, hun. Right? And they start valuing that more. And also for dating, women in their 40s will search more for loving connection rather than significance.
Why do couples, men and women, stop? I call it dating. Like when they're in the relationship and it just becomes routine. Yeah. It becomes almost, it was interesting. It was a conversation I was having where it's like the couple was so interested in asking their kids how they were, and they kept on forgetting how to ask themselves how they were.
Right.
At what point does that happen, and why does it happen?
Good question. Well, the kids is a big thing because now you have to
their world is around them.
Yeah, your world's around them. And a lot of people, I think both sexes do it. I know women, they feel like they have to sacrifice themselves. That's a big pattern with them. I have to sacrifice myself for the kids. And I hate the word sacrifice. I like the word using everything you have to help. Mm-hmm. But sacrifice is like you're cutting a part of yourself, is the way I see it. But men do it as well. Like I'm going to go to work and work long hours and work hard to provide for my kids. So I think everything is like for somebody else. So they're not focused on each other. Another thing is what creates attraction is what creates comfortability is certainty.
Okay.
I know everything about my wife. She knows everything about me. Then that's great. You also need some variety. You also need some attraction. And, you could tell me from your experience or, things you've seen, you're most attracted when you first see that girl and she's doing her thing. And you're like, wow, who's that? And it might not just be her looks, but the way she's acting. And then you first talk to her and you can't wait to see her again. Yeah. Same thing with a guy. Oh my God, he's in his element. He's doing construction or his podcast or whatever. Wow. So sometimes couples, they're too close. Okay. And they need some separation. Go out with your friends. Do your things. Without
the insecurities.
Because then, partner?
Yeah, of the other partner. Yeah, because all of a sudden, if he or she is going out more or because they want to be happy, they just want to enjoy their life and go out and do something, but they're not doing it with their partner.
Right.
So then there could be some insecurities that come up to.
Yeah. So that's why I said that being secure, that's where it starts from.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have there's natural jealousy, but that's different. But if it's like you're going out with your friends and somebody's like insecure about that, that's where you need that personal coaching.
It's it's interesting because the thing is that I've never been to the point where I've been so insecure that I'm concerned that they may do something that they shouldn't do.
Right.
Because the bottom line is my thought process is that if they do, then they didn't really value what you had with them.
Right.
So basically that's where it's like the relationship is over. My lease is up next year. Like that's just basically it, right? Yep, so,
I agree.
But that happens. I think it happens too frequently these days because it's too easy to start that whole process again. Where I guess you start getting that connection, and now you're not in that relationship. You see somebody else, and you're attracted to them. And now you're starting to scratch, fresh, new, somebody different, and now you start that whole dating process again.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It's not that. It's because in the relationship your needs are not getting met.
Yes.
And it could even be 2 needs are not getting met. Like 4 could be getting met, but 2 aren't. And you're seeing that too with somebody else. For example, My husband is great. There's, he provides the finances. I feel very comfortable. I feel certain. I get to contribute. I'm to my kids. I'm growing with my kids. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But it's not fun anymore. There's no variety anymore. Someone comes along and they're energetic and there's variety. All of a sudden they're like, oh, because they're yearning for that.
That's what I've been missing.
That's what they've been missing. And I don't think it's that, I don't think people want to cheat. I don't think people want to leave a relationship with somebody who has good traits, somebody they love. They don't want to leave it, in my opinion. But they need to meet their needs. And they're not getting variety from this guy, and this guy's getting more and more boring. Or even the girl, even the woman's getting more and more, stale.
So what is the basic reason why someone would cheat? It's because of that. Their needs are not being met.
Their needs are not being met, yeah.
Whether you're a man or a woman,
Yeah.
it's just your needs are not being met. So that's where it goes back to all of a sudden you have a life, you start a marriage, you start a family, everything is about other people and not you, and then you realize my needs are not being met.
Yes.
So now it's time for me to cheat. But why not speak to your significant other and go, listen, my needs are not being met. It's as simple as that, as cheesy as that may sound. Is that stupid to say that?
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay.
The basis is to always communicate.
Yeah.
In an open, honest way. Some people don't feel comfortable communicating, which is such a pity. And that's what I help some people with, because they've been taught that if they share vulnerably what they're thinking and what they're feeling, they're going to be shut down somehow. They could have got that from their parents,
especially men.
Yeah, and I think that's what this podcast is also about today.
Yeah.
Men can't, be vulnerable. They can't say, I miss you. They can't. That's bad.
Why not? Society?
Yeah, it's such a stupid belief. I even have trouble talking about it.
I have a funny feeling that as much as I never really saw it between my old school parents, they may not have said the things that were attached to the marriage, like the needs, but I think that they would have felt it. You know what I mean by that? They
didn't voice it, you're saying?
Yeah, I don't think they ever voiced it.
Yeah,
I don't think that, my parents were not romantic people that per se. They wouldn't say, I miss you and all this other stuff. But I think just by old school way of being in a marriage and that old European mentality of how you're a team. So it's like the other person is an extension of you. So they would have felt the needs between the two of them and not express verbally the needs between the two of them. But that doesn't go on today, does it? I don't see it.
What doesn't go on today?
Like feeling the needs.
And acting in accordance to that?
Yeah. I guess it's like, okay, it's, how do I try to explain it? I'm trying to explain it. So let's say you're living with somebody and every day is a certain way.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're in a marriage and you have family and all this other stuff. Like Monday through Friday is a certain way. Saturday, Sunday is a certain way. And maybe there's something that's going on that's frustrating one or both or what have you, right? So whatever. Let's say for whatever reason, a tradesman comes home, takes his work boots off, and leaves it on a counter or something like that. And that's just a routine of what he does. It's cute for her in the beginning of the relationship because he was a tradesperson at that time, tradesman, and he did that and she thought it was cute. Hardworking boots, hardworking man, hardworking everything. Yeah. But now that cuteness is not cute anymore. So she's wanting to tell him, don't put your boots on the counter.
Right.
But maybe one day he wakes up and sees her and how she reacts side-eye wise, you know what I mean? And then he just consciously doesn't put the boots on there.
Right.
So he's fulfilled her need without even saying it.
Oh,
and she's received it. So I think that's how the old school European parents were like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't think I see that today. I think today is almost like he or she or both would have to say, we need to go see a therapist. We need to go see a coach. And I'm like, all I really want you to do is just not put the boots on the counter.
Right.
But I didn't want to tell you to not put the boots on the counter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of nonverbal communication in a successful relationship.
Yes.
That's where I'm going with it.
And you're saying like nowadays people don't pick up on that?
No.
Good point.
I don't think so. I'm not the expert. I'm just basing it off of my own relationships, right? So it's like there's things that I've done that I've caught that I feel that I understand, and then I stop doing it, right? Because I'm like, okay, that's pissing them off. So then they would notice that, okay, well, and then they bring it up later, which is always an interesting conversation, right? So they're like, okay, I really like that you did that, and I noticed it.
Yes.
So that's you feeling the needs of them.
Right. I also think communication is always best because sometimes you're doing something that you think helps, but it's not.
100%.
So that's why communication on both ends. I would say something like, okay, well, you could just remove the boots, but if it's like many things, it could be, honey, I'm noticing that, you know, you're not really liking this. I just want to make sure that, okay, awesome, I'll take it off. Right. And she'll be like, you know, thanks for noticing that kind of thing. So sometimes we do actions like that and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But communication, it's always clear.
Because I guess when you get older, it's like you can technically always say, I've never had a successful relationship.
Right.
Unless you're an old couple and you're literally on your deathbed, then you had one final successful relationship.
It doesn't mean it's successful just because it went on a long time.
Exactly.
And I think that's the biggest like misconception.
Yeah, because there's a point sometimes in a lot of relationships, I don't think that point is going to be shrunken these days because people will get out of a marriage probably in their last 10 years of their life and saying, I don't want to end my life with this person.
Right.
Right. So it's like, you can't ask another person what's a successful relationship because technically speaking, I've never had one. Even the relationship that I'm currently in, it may not last, which then again becomes an unsuccessful relationship.
Yes. Yep.
But you still learn your lessons from it.
Yep.
So it's like, how do you make a successful relationship? By communication.
That's a part of it.
Okay, and what are the other parts?
Because communication doesn't mean it's successful, but at least everything gets on the table. So you say either, okay, this direction or that direction. It could be that that's good. We figured out we're not compatible.
Yeah.
That's why communication is important.
What are the other?
I think it always starts off with yourself and being secure. I always say for myself, I will only date somebody who's secure, period. And I mean overall secure. I mean, we all have our little things. It doesn't mean you have to be, you know, a piece of steel or whatever. No, I'm just saying, like, even I might have my things or whatever, but I'm saying overall secure. Being able to communicate, being able to trust, being able to, you know, be with each other. So many people, they're either like anxious towards it. Oh my God, like me. Or some people, when they get close, it's so weird. They back away.
Because they're concerned about what?
Because they're scared that, they're scared they're going to get hurt again. Because sometime in their past, they were close to somebody. They had a lot of feelings. They were innocent and the person hurt them. So now they've connected subconsciously that if I get close to somebody, I'm going to get hurt again. Mm-hmm. Some people even have a pattern where sometimes they're anxious and sometimes they back away. So they're anxious, like me, but if I get too close, it's too scary.
Another pattern I've been seeing I've got 2 high school friends that I occasionally speak to. Neither one of them is with somebody.
Right.
And they've clearly just told me that their concerns about financial destitution, I guess.
What does that mean?
Being involved with somebody and they're independent, they've done well for themselves, and all of a sudden if they get partnered with somebody based on laws, they could lose quite a bit of finances if it doesn't work out.
Yep.
So they've chosen, and now they're in their 50s, they've chosen to be single.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like they're going to be with anybody.
Yep.
So, I mean, I questioned them and I asked them, and that's what they first said to me. It's like, listen, I don't want to lose my house. I don't want to lose my investments. I don't want to lose my car. I don't want to lose any of this shit. Yeah. So they've chosen to be alone. Yeah. But that's a sign that we're seeing. There's more men being single these days, and also there's more women being single these days as well because their first marriage didn't work out or whatever. So is that pattern just going to increase? Is that
good question? I've seen that a lot. I mean, you know, when my friend talks about how, you know, based on his experience, and I think just in general, so many women have screwed him over. And I've seen this where, you know, a guy gets divorced, they lose half their stuff, plus all the legal stuff. It's because traditionally, you know, men are the breadwinners. So that's why it's set up that way. But then you also hear a lot of women that were screwed over by guys.
It happens.
It's both ways.
Yeah.
Maybe not always financially, but it's screwed up emotionally or screwed over emotionally.
So everyone's going into a relationship already with their backs up.
Yeah. I think most people, yeah.
So they're portraying somebody that they're not at first to find out more about this person that they want to get connected with. But in the back of their head, they're always thinking it's not going to last.
I think everybody's scared in a relationship, like everybody, period. That's where the trust factor, because I could love somebody and they could cheat on me or vice versa. I think everybody's scared. But I think people are scared to the point now where it's like they don't even want to get into a relationship.
So then they just become into like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, I'm an independent woman. I'm a boss babe. Or a guy says, I don't effing care about these, beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It goes both ways. And it's sad, but it's true. Like, it's true. And that's why I think relationships are life, no matter what you say. Relationships are the most important part in life, I believe.
They taught you. They teach you.
They teach you. Yeah, they teach you. And it's also because our need for love and connection is so strong.
Yes.
But I 100% understand the fears, and they're real. I'm amazed how many people go with the wrong people for the wrong reasons and the wrong state of mind.
But we do that. Everybody does that.
Everybody does that.
You do it more often in your 20s and 30s.
Yes, yeah.
Then you're more selective as you get older.
Yeah. So I think that's what, generally, my opinion is generally do not get married in your 20s.
But our parents did. They came from small villages.
Yeah. It sounds like you have like a positive view of the marriages back in the day.
Back in the day, yes. Yeah. I don't have a positive, my two sisters both divorced.
Right.
Right. So it's just like, that's how it is. But then I also have friends of mine that their family members are divorced. So it's just common, but you would never think that would be in your family, right?
I don't know I think the past, they were good in some ways, relationships, but in other ways, they didn't say things. They didn't communicate. They kept things in. They ignored things. They repressed their feelings. Yes. Just because it lasted doesn't mean it's the best.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Everyone knew that was not a happy marriage, but they were just sticking it out for the sake of the marriage and for the sake of the family name and for the sake of the village or the sake of whatever, right?
Right.
It's basically like you married your culture.
Yeah.
Right? And then you stuck with it.
What background are you?
Portuguese.
That's what I thought, with the Manny.
Yeah, so it's just that's how it was. And I never understood it sometimes because I've been in enough weddings when I was younger, and you would see certain couples that just flat out hated each other. Yeah. Like you saw that, but they never got divorced.
Doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, I know.
I say it's probably even worse if it's going bad and doesn't divorce, and you don't divorce.
So what's the flip side? Look at what society's created now.
Yeah, so I think that's what I think. You have to find the right person. I don't say perfect person.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. And I'm not saying everybody that meets every little check mark you have.
Oh.
No. But there has to be things that have to be there for you. What's important to you. They're called non-negotiables. For
me, first is communication.
Communication.
If you cannot open up or discuss something and be willing to converse about certain things or what have you, and I'm not like it doesn't matter as long as you're open. If I ask a question and we're talking and we're trying to communicate, we're trying to connect or whatever, and you're just dismissing them and not answering the questions because either you're being defensive or protective, it's not going to last for me. I'm not interested in even diving further about that, right? So, and I'm not talking about intimacy or any kind of sexual. I'm just talking about you as a person, your personality, your character is, that's what I'm talking about. So if you can't be open, feel comfortable with another human being about sharing that, then that's going to be a problem with me.
Yeah.
Physical, as I get older, physical starts to drop lower down.
Yeah.
It's just like physical is always going to be there. Like we're animals.
Yeah.
That's just basic premise, right? That's how it works in my eyes, right?
Yes.
But yeah, the communication and also I think inspiring. I want drive. I want people creative is another one. I think people need to be creative. I think you have to have an opinion about art or anything like that, like what you think is interesting to you. Like it could be anything, or even traveling, just ideas of what you think or what you see about cultures and things like that. And also, I'm not a religious person, but I like listening to religious people and them talking about their religions, right? I know lots of people of different types of religions, right? And I like understand why, because I want to learn.
Yeah.
I'm curious about it. I don't know everything about that. Yeah. I grew up as a Christian, Catholic, whatever, but that's not who I am. I know about that, and I know enough about the rulers and the nuns in Sunday class and shit like that, right? Yeah. But I'm fascinated by Muslim culture. I'm fascinated by Buddhism. I'm fascinated by all that stuff. So if someone starts talking to me and they're like, "Oh, I'm interested in this," I'm like, "Great, tell me a little bit more about that. I'd love to learn about it." That becomes attractiveness.
Right. Okay. So for you, one of your top needs that you value is growth.
Yes. 100%.
So, you said a whole bunch of things, which is all right. To make it succinct, you need somebody that you could grow with, and that helps you grow.
Go to battle with too.
Go to battle with.
Yeah.
In a good way, obviously. Yeah.
No, yeah, because I mean, if life is about hardships, you're going to have more than positive good things going on in your life, right?
Right.
So if you're going to have hardships, you want someone that you can go to battle with. You can be there, that will support you. But I find also that there's a lot of relationships today that as soon as rocky waters come, they jet.
Yeah.
They leave, right?
Yeah.
They don't want that. They go back to what we talked about at the very beginning, that lie on social media.
Yeah.
They talk about that filter. Like, no, that's the lifestyle that I want. And I'm like, yeah, but that's fake. That's not real.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're going to bolt every time there's a little bit of a hiccup in the...
So there you go. For yourself and anybody else that values, what you values growth, values, going through hardships. That's a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
That has to be there.
Yeah.
Period. So if someone doesn't have that, for anybody that's listening, if somebody doesn't have what you're looking for, those non-negotiables,
there's no reason to stay.
There's no reason. Don't say, I could change them, or No, these are non-negotiables. They have to be there. Period. So I think that's one of the mistakes people make. Like, you value growth so much, you value, going to battle if needed.
It's important.
Find something. It's important. So never don't marry somebody or go out with somebody that doesn't have that. But I think a lot of people do because they think, I'm at a certain age. I don't know if I'm going to find anybody else. Well, I got to get married now. And they're pretty good. I mean, they have their things, and it's just like, no, let's be realistic here. Let's actually look at what you really value. And the rest is like, okay, they snore. Sometimes they get upset over things or whatever, but those are the little things.
Is there still pressure to be married these days?
Good question. Yeah.
Really, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like, you'll see all those, like, I think so. You'll see all those social media posts. Like, it doesn't matter. Do you mean, like, marriage versus what?
Common law?
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably less pressure to get married. I think it's still there.
It's still there, huh?
Yeah.
Is that still there because they're circle of friends?
I think it's a biological thing. Like, are you going to connect? Are you going to get married? And
there's plenty of people that get married, and that's when the relationship starts to go down.
Right. Yeah, my personal opinion is that I don't see the reason to get married. You could common law, you could live together, you could do everything the exact same, but I think the marriage is like, oh, you're committing yourself to each other. But not really. You're just making it like, if something happens,
it's a document.
It's a document.
It's an expensive party and a document.
An expensive party, yeah. It's an expensive document. Like, why would you sign that? And again, everybody that's watching, I'm not saying don't connect with somebody, don't have a long-term relationship. I would love a long-term relationship. But why am I signing a legal paper here? Why am I potentially hurting? It's not even just if I was the male or female. A divorce is hard all the way around. I know divorces too, like in my family as well. It's hard all the way around. It
affects
the parents,
everybody.
the kids, the finances, everything's hard about it. Why would you sign the paper?
Are we designed to be married? Are we designed to meet one person, be married for the rest of our lives, and then die?
Good question. Yeah, they do studies like, women, as long as they get something from one guy, then they move on to the next guy. Like in the animal kingdom, apparently it happens. I'm not too sure about these studies. I just think it's a lot better to have someone you can spend your life with if you feel fulfilled anyways.
This is a question I haven't even asked myself or even answered it myself, but I was just like thinking, okay, if I could go back in time, would I just choose one partner? I've got one friend who actually did that, but it's got something to do with family and religion, right? And I just look at him, I'm like, okay, great. Works for you. And they're still married, right? So I think they've been married almost 20 years now, right? So it's like, they're probably going to end up in the same grave or whatever. That's just how it works. But if I go back in time and I'm thinking, would I have wanted just one partner? And I'm thinking, no, because I think you had to discover who you are and what these other people were about. And you can't be connected perfectly to another partner. Yeah. Like there's no way, right?
Right.
It's impossible. So then the other thing is that you change. Yeah. And I've always said this too to people that have reached out and asked me my opinion about relationships. I just said that you're not the same person. And you won't be the same person tomorrow, yesterday. So if you're changing and they're changing and you're not changing in the right direction, then obviously you're going to grow apart. But it also works so you can grow together.
Yes.
So that's why I wouldn't want to go back in time and just be with one person. You had to kind of go through all this struggle.
Right.
To find value in person that you're with right now. But in the back of my head, I'm still thinking this may not last. We don't know.
It may not. Yeah, it may not.
Right? We don't know where it's going to go,
Yeah.
or maybe it will last and we'll end up together,
Yeah.
and that's it, right?
You never know. So while you were talking there, you were referencing growth again.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? Yeah. That's why I said it's so important to you. Yeah. So
I didn't give a shit about it in my 20s and 30s.
about what, growing?
I didn't think about it.
No.
I think it was maybe towards the end of my 30s, early 40s, I started realizing I'm done with the theatrics.
Yeah.
Like it's all just like theater to me, right? And now I want substance.
Yeah.
That's what I really want. That's what I find interesting.
Yes.
So it's just, then that's what you start looking for.
Yeah.
And it's not even that you're looking for it through physical.
Yeah.
You're looking at it through verbal communication
Yeah.
first. And then you start realizing, I want to get to know this person more. And then you're more interested in that person. And then you discover other things. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Growth is a massive one.
That's why I say, my opinion is, generally speaking, you should don't commit yourself in your 20s, because your mind's not there, not even in your 30s. And what you referenced also was you grow with every relationship.
Oh, hell for sure. That's exactly what happens.
Kind of thing. So it's like, when I think back, I mean, I've had, the girlfriends I had, most of them were great young women. But looking back now, I wouldn't date them where I am now, because just some things just didn't jive.
Yeah, that's probably.
You know what I mean, it doesn't mean they were bad people, but those relationships helped me like learn what I really want, who I really am, like you just said.
So where do we get our grocery list of partners? Like, we get it from everything, right? We get it from our family, we get it from our friends, we get it from social media, we get it from movies, we get it. Is that where we get everything from? Like, I don't think someone sits there and go, this is the person that I want, and they check mark. Yeah. I don't think they do that. I think they're influenced.
Good point.
It's almost like an inception. It's almost like someone kind of went in there and they planted all these seeds of what the perfect partner is for them.
Yeah.
And then they go through life checking them off. And then as they get older with failed relationships, the list becomes smaller.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that what happens?
That's a good way of putting it. I was when you were saying, what makes somebody go, for somebody else or attracted to somebody else. It also depends on your values. Yeah. For example, if you value certainty, like familiarity, let's say you would go after a Portuguese woman, for example. But you're like, no, right? Oof, no.
No. One time, enough.
There we go. Okay, there you go. Good experience, right?
Yeah.
Like some people, they have, like I know somebody who found, the same culture and the same region and the city, like a near city, because they just wanted that certainty, everything the same, Yes, so it depends what you value. So if you value, it could be the same culture, they look the same as, your brother, sister, mom, dad, whatever. They value the same things. Some people like variety. They want, if you're, Mediterranean, you want, an Eastern European or a North American, or, for example, or some people like that change as well. So it's also influenced by what you value.
How much are we influenced by the fact of what our friends will think of the person we're choosing?
That's such a good question. Sorry, was there something more to that?
No, that's it. That's it.
So I was talking to some teenage girls the other day, and I sat down and go, listen, I'm doing like life coaching for kids and teenagers. And I want to ask, like, what are some common problems that, you have or teenage girls have? And what was the question? Sorry. I got tired.
How much influence do people put on circle? Yeah.
Yeah. So the girls were saying, if you go up to the guy and he's like to ask him out and he's with his friends, he won't do it because his friends are like, oh my God, he or whatever. Or if the guy goes up to the girl and the girl's like circles, like, oh, he's not hot or he's not, I don't know. And like the girl won't do it. But they were complaining a lot. They're like, the guy is so influenced by his group of friends. And these are teenage boys, by the way. Yeah.
But that happens in your 20s. That happens when you get older.
I think that happens when you get older. But you know what? Like how do I put this? I never really cared. In a sense, I always think of it like my friends are my friends because they like me. they know me and like me. And if they don't know it, like if they have a problem with me, then they're not my friend.
I know, but at some point you're going to have to introduce to someone that's in your life to your friends. And if if your friend starts saying, you can almost do better. Like that you're like, you relationship up or down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That could be like constructive criticism. Like that could be good. It could be like, oh, really? Like, tell me more. It could be that.
It's just, sorry. I remember having a situation. This is way back. This is, I don't even know why this came into my head. This is way back in my late 20s.
Yeah.
I was shopping, walked into a shop, and I was seeing somebody. And then all of a sudden I connected with the clerk at the store, right? So there was a little bit of flirting going on. And then all of a sudden she started crossing, I guess, the line a little bit, asking if I was single or with somebody, right? And so then I said, no, I'm seeing somebody, right? And she goes, okay. And then she started digging some more. And then all of a sudden she's like asking me for a photo to see who I'm seeing, right? And then I'm like, okay, well, I'll play along or whatever, right? Sure. And then sure enough, I showed her a picture, and then she just looked at the picture and she's like, you could do better.
Yeah, because she liked you.
And I'm like, that's just weird. Like, I just met you, I'm just speaking to you, and now this is how you're being judged on. And you're looking at someone that's a photograph. You don't know anything about this person. You don't know what's gone on between me and this person in the relationship.
Right.
But then that's your outtake from that.
Right.
So that's where I'm getting with the friends, where they'll start looking at what you bring to the table and go, this is the woman that I want, or the man that I want to spend the rest of my life with. And there's maybe a consensus of you can do better, or you should find somebody else.
By the way, I love the honesty in the straight shoot. That's awesome. That's because some people are like, they wouldn't say that, but that's awesome. So I think in that case, it's because she liked you. So whoever picture you pulled out, she would have been like, you could do better.
She would have said the exact same
thing, right?
Yes.
And it was like competition, right? So again, if your friend says it, they might have a point. Like you might be missing something.
Or do you have a dialogue with your friend about it? Like, and ask the same way with that store clerk, you can go, why? Why are you saying that? What makes you bring that up?
Right. If it's a good friend, yeah, you could ask them. You could be like, that's
because relationships are just, in my opinion, they're influenced by so many things.
But they shouldn't be.
But they are.
Yeah, they are, but they shouldn't be in the sense, this is your life.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I mean by that.
But then we're supposed to make mistakes, Giovanni. Like, I mean, aren't we not supposed to make mistakes? So it doesn't work out, doesn't work out.
Yeah.
What if we end up friends or whatever? Never happened in my life. But it's just like, what if that happens? Or what if they become a person significant in your life later on for whatever reason?
Sure.
Right? So it's just, I don't know. You're supposed to make the mistakes, I think.
Yeah. So I think it's especially parents are like, no, you could do better. You could do better. My experience, and I think this probably goes for everybody. You always date that one person that's just like, I can't say the word on air, but effed. Yeah. And you look back like, what the F was I doing? Was I thinking? And like, my parents were right or my friends were right. So that could happen. But I think you need to make that mistake.
So I know at the beginning of the show, you said that there's basically a whole crossover connection between couples coaching, marriage coaching, and then life coaching. Yeah. So it all overlaps, right?
Yes.
So basically, is it fair to say that if you're, for lack of a better word, failing in your couple life, it's affecting your own personal life coaching, right? And then vice versa.
Yep.
And so how does one handle all that? Because if your life starts to unravel because you found the wrong person and they're not growing, for my situation, with you, then it's going to affect you personally and professionally. And then that you're going to start to see all these markers that are going to be taking you down on different levels of your life.
Yes.
How do you handle that?
And when you say how do you handle that, what do you mean?
Do you finally acknowledge and go, listen, this person in my life is not working. I need to cut them out, get them out so then I can focus. Because we've always heard this thing. When you try to fix your life, so to speak, you may be doing really well with health and you're working out, you're exercising, you're getting that back. But then maybe your family life is struggling because you're focusing so much on that. So it's like, how do we find that balance between all three?
Okay. So I think those are two separate questions.
Yeah, totally. I just got dozens of questions. Okay. I just keep asking.
No problem. Yeah, go for it. Cool. That point, because I know that was in the list of questions that you sent me as a template. Anyways, the balance. there might not be a 50-50 balance here. So it's like it's situation to situation. But what I do find is, like I said, some men in their 20s are working hard, and the woman's like, yeah, I'm going with a guy that's working hard, and then in their 30s they're building something, they're building a family. That's amazing, that's awesome. And then their 40s, and sometimes even like later, like 50s, they're still doing that working, and the woman's going, like, you're not around anymore. You're always at work. That's where the balance, like. Not the balance.
But he's trying to provide for the family.
He's trying to provide, but he's using an old like strategy that worked in the past.
Yeah.
And he might even think that's how I earn my value as a man. That's why my wife is staying with me. But I could tell you, because I've had just personal and professionally, I've talked to many women late 30s or especially 40s. They value loving connection more. They would say, okay, listen, like we're in good financial standing right now. It's okay if we make a little less money, but I want to be together with you. I want that connection. I want to feel this connection now. Our kids are growing up. Like I want that connection now. And I think I said this before, women in their 40s, they start to value loving connection more in a guy.
What's the guy valuing at that time in that age bracket?
I think just exactly what you said. It's not as much about looks. And what I mean about that is I think you have to find the woman attractive to you. But it's really more about what's deeper. What's the conversations you have? Are they able to communicate openly?
Yeah.
Are they secure, or are they going to be a beep, beep, beep? And this goes vice versa too, by the way.
So then how does it okay, so you get a lot of people that are going through divorces and just, do you get couples coming at you trying to salvage the divorce, the marriage? Or is there a relationship that you're speaking to? And if you're speaking to them, I guess separately or together, you're assessing that you can't save this marriage.
Yeah. Okay. So firstly, I only take on people who are both 10 out of 10, like motivated and ready to
it can't be one wants to and the other's being dragged to it.
100. Exactly.
It has to be both willing to give this a shot.
Exactly. And I do that in my coaching too. Like I don't take on everybody. If you're not 10 out of 10 ready right now, that's okay. We'll talk again in a month.
Do you give them parameters of what to focus on to come back? You should be.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's just like they're just not 10 out of 10 motivated. There's a part that goes, and I go, okay, well in that case, it's best that you don't work with any coach at this time, because you're not going to get the results.
So how do you salvage that relationship? If they both come to the table, they're both committed to making this work again. They just want to know how to make it work. That's where you're coming in. So
first, one question to answer one of your questions is, some marriages or some relationships, they're not good. And divorce or separation or breaking up is an option. It's just like in a business. Sometimes a business is not working, and you've tried and tried and tried, and it's just not working. And sometimes you have to change the business.
Yep. Kind
of thing. So there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. You just might be on two different paths in life. How to salvage it? So I have the couple in front of me. The couple in front of me. And I'm working on the relationship and them individually at the same time.
Okay.
It's almost like double the coaching is going on. Because again, they both have to be secure. That's the thing. So if I notice one or both of them they're too anxious, or they're, avoidance, or they're, both of them, or they're just this and that, they're yelling, they're this, whatever that is, I have to work on them individually. I have to turn to them and work on them and then work with the next one and then bring it together.
What do you begin with? You begin with the individual first to find out what they are looking for.
And the individual first, and them being secure.
Secure.
Yeah, because that's where you can now. It's like having a base for construction. It's like having a base.
Yeah.
And then you can now go from there to find out, okay, what's going on. And I can tell you, I don't play favorites. I don't support the man or the woman. If the woman's bashing the guy or the guy's talking bad about the woman, I don't say, oh, I agree with you. Like, it's like they're both doing something here. It might be, however thin you slice it, there's always two sides. It might be even 80% one person, 20% the other person, but there's something that's going on. And I can actually tell you, sometimes the thing that's going on is they're just not connecting.
But they've been married 10, 15 years. They've got 3 children. They have a house together.
That could be worse.
No, it's a lot worse. But the thing is, they've done everything society's asked them to do.
Yeah.
But they haven't done anything for themselves. That's the rat race that
Yes.
a lot of couples get into, no?
Yeah, so that's a really good point. I feel so passionate about this when people like do things for society. I just like
I hate it.
I hate it.
I can't stand it. It's like you're trying to keep up with the Joneses and you never stop to think about yourselves
Yeah.
when you should have been. We thought about ourselves all the time in our 20s. Like we're completely selfish in our 20s when it comes to relationships. So why is it that we give up that and then we give into society's requests and now we're trapped?
Yeah, good point. So I think in your 20s, the selfishness you're talking about is the unhealthy selfishness.
Oh, of course, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about healthy. I wouldn't even say selfishness, but if we want to, for lack of a better word, healthy selfishness. So what that means is you know who you are and you express who you are. You're not doing it for mom, dad, society, this, that. So when I say someone becomes secure, I don't give them anything. I just help them remove the blocks that are keeping them from being themselves.
Let me give you a statement that I've shared with married couples, right? That fucking hated me saying this, right? Because they have kids, right? And I don't have kids.
Right.
But I remember saying this once or twice to them and they just didn't like it. And I just said to them that having kids is the most selfish thing a human being can do, right? And then they would start to rise their temperature. And I said, calm the fuck down. Just wait a little second because there's a second part to that. And I would say, but raising those kids is the most selfless thing a human can do. You have the children for immortality's sake. You have it because that's the only way you can live on. Your cells are in that person and that person's cells are in you. And you're continuing your family DNA. And so when you're gone, this person is representative of you and your family, right? So that's the most selfish thing that you can do. But to raise that person properly and raise them as a good soul, good heart, good person, that's the most selfless thing you can do.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? Because that's the kind of like at the beginning, you're doing it for yourself and for society. But then at the back half of it, you're doing it for them.
Okay, so I'm not sure if everybody does it for for society.
Yeah.
Well, that might be part of it.
I've had my fair share of dates that you start meeting somebody and they start sizing you up physically because they want a representative of the ideal specimen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I think at a certain age, people are looking for the ideal candidate regarding what the sperm can bring to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like there's a reason why majority of women are asking for a 6 foot plus man.
Yep.
Right? A man that has, I don't know, light eyes, long flow of hair, shit like that, right? All these things, right? So then you're sizing them up. You're like bald, short, brown-eyed men are not the desired look. Right? But yet they're probably some of the nicest people out there, right? But that's the people that these other people will look at after marriages have fallen apart, after society has beaten them up, and they start looking at nice people to be with.
Yeah.
So that's where the selfishness, I think it starts off at the beginning because now you got what you wanted, but then you realize that you didn't do anything for yourself, but now you have to give up yourself to raise that.
Yeah, so if you're doing it for society, that goes right back to the, people do so many things for society, this, that, and they're so disconnected from themselves. And that's what insecurity is.
Yes.
Because now you're starting to play this significance game. If I get someone who looks this way, who makes this amount of money, and that stuff is important, but if that's like your number one thing, you're playing the game with yourself, you're making decisions based on that, and then you're hitting your 40s, usually in your 40s, and you're going, what the F was I doing?
Are young people growing up faster?
No, opposite.
Really?
Well, okay, it depends what you mean by that. Like superficially,
people
yes.
People in their 20s.
Superficially, yes.
Really?
Well, isn't this like clear?
I'm asking. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I see it the same as well too, right?
So I always hated when, like let's say my parents or grandparents would say, no, this generation, they're this, that.
Every generation says that.
Every generation says that. But I really do think, and I'm saying this as a concern, like the Gen Zs, which is something like, I forget, something between like ages 15 and 28 right now.
Okay.
Like I'm really concerned for them. I'm really concerned for them. They live on the superficial level. Because
they've had so many partners by so many years.
Yeah.
And you're like, And we know through studies that having so many partners is going to contribute to the possibility of a divorce. You're never going to stay stable in a marriage by the time you actually decide to be married, right? I agree with you. So, I mean, Gen Z, I think, is mid-90s to present time, right? That's how, so they would be in their mid-20s or something right now.
Yeah, so it's mostly like late teens, 20-year-olds, yeah.
Yeah. So then you're so disconnected, I guess,
from yourself, from reality, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do in their 30s. I've talked to people about this, like, what happens? And they said, let's say the woman, they go in their 30s when they feel like their, values going down, their physical values going down. They end up connecting with, the first guy that shows them some attention and that has like a pretty good job and whatever, but they're still living that like lie. And then in their 40s, I believe that's one of the reasons why they start going, I'm not happy in the marriage. But we've been married 10, 15 years. Yeah, but we've been married under like a lie almost. Or like not just,
it's been a business transaction.
I think that's hard. That's like a tough thing to say, but yeah.
I know plenty of marriages that are business transactions.
No, what I'm saying is it's a heavy thing to say, but I think there's some truth to that. Yeah. So that's why, I don't know, it's very superficial. And on the, multiple partners thing, I think this goes for men and women, guys and girls. I heard that if you take like, for a woman, if you take like a sticker, I think it's like a sticker, and you put it like on a wall, you take it off, I think, so she sleeps with one guy.
Of course.
And you take it off, and it's still kind of sticky.
Okay.
And the second time, it's a little bit less, whatever. After, I think it's 6 is like the magic number, it doesn't really stick anymore. Okay. And what that means is like they have trouble pair bonding, is what the study says.
What about men in that same situation? If
you know what? That's a good question.
Taking their sticker off 6 times, they'll just get a new sticker.
Yeah, just get a new sticker. So this is a good question. I got to be careful with this answer because
send the letters to me.
I think with a guy it could be a higher number, because guys are built differently. But guys are not what everybody thinks. Oh, they just want sex all the time. They just want, and it doesn't matter what.
It's garbage.
It's garbage. And I think with age, like, you can't, it's hard to have sex with somebody you don't have feelings for. And I'm saying that because from personal experience. Maybe when I was younger, I needed a certain amount of emotional connection. Certain amount of emotion. I need to like them, connect with them, whatever. But if they were hot, okay, fine. Now it's like, if they're hot, I just can't do it if it's the first time. Like if I don't know them, if there's no connection, I can't do it. And you're shaking, like you're agreeing with that.
No, I agree with you, totally.
I think it must be an age thing. So guys are not these, pigs that would just do with anybody kind of thing, especially mature ones.
Yeah, but guys in their 20s, I think, still do.
In their 20s, yeah.
Yes. And then girls, I guess, do the same as well, too, because they're still on that roller coaster of that physical.
Yeah, but they're doing it for different reasons.
Yeah.
A girl's doing it for social status and whatever.
Yes.
And her body count, I've heard a girl's body count could be 20, 30, 40 guys.
By what age?
Good question.
Like in their 20s? No.
I believe most of it happens in their 20s and 30s, I'm guessing. I don't know.
It was really weird. I was doing a job, and there was the Irish bricklayer crew. There was a couple of guys on the crew. They were literally sleeping with somebody new every single day of the week.
Right.
Through Tinder, right? And I was like, how do you,
yeah.
Do you even know what they look like or what their name? Like, how do you do that? I don't understand how and they literally are just going on dates, and it's like, is there a couch there? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the definition of emptiness to me.
Yes.
Like if you're doing that on a daily basis with somebody different, like 2 things. What's going on with the person that you're doing it with, and what's going on with you?
Yeah.
Because you're both destroying yourselves, in my opinion, you are. And you're going to have such a disconnect later on in life trying to connect with anybody, because that's your vision of what connection is.
Right.
And that's not connection. Seeing somebody and swiping them and seeing a photograph and then meeting them and going, okay, and then just going at it, that's not connection.
Right.
That's just you fulfilling a need
I don't even know
moment.
I don't know if it's, I know that need, but I don't even know. It's like it's so empty,
It is. But they don't discover that until later on in life.
I think this goes back to people are very scared to get into relationships because it requires a certain amount of feel insecure within yourself, vulnerability, trust, communication. Like it requires something. So I think that's what happened. So if I could just, F somebody, hey, I'm feeling good. It's almost like I could just go, it's like scrolling on Instagram.
Yeah.
You get a dopamine hit.
Yeah.
So, Jordan Peterson?
Yeah.
So I like some of his things. Let's say that. Some things he says. He said, a man sleeps with, 100 women. And he goes, that's not like something to take lightly, in the sense, like not every man could find 100 women to sleep with.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to wrap my head around that number, right?
He has to have some kind of attraction to attract 100 women, unless they're all very low quality, I guess. But even so, 100 women. But he basically said the guy, he might feel like he's cool, or someone might think he's cool, but he's actually cheapening himself.
I agree.
Like, I think of it for myself now. I think of it like it sounds really like, what's the word, arrogant or whatever, but you have to earn me. And I don't mean earn like you have to be like, I'm not going to like, when I say standards, I mean, there has to be a connection. You have to be smart. You have to be secure.
That goes for both sides.
And that goes for both.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, don't think guys are just like this. And the guys who do that, they're cheapening themselves, and you don't want to be with those guys. And you don't even want to be that kind of guy. You're cheapening yourself.
It's ironic though. Like, I think I talked to a lot of people, or I've seen the cool guys from high school. They're probably twice or three times divorced. They're most likely single, but yet they were the cool guys, like the guys that got all the girls, right? And I'm like, so I was the shy guy, and just
really?
Yeah, I was a quiet guy. I was totally quiet in high school, right? I was the introvert in high school, and I just kept to myself. But I mean, then you get older and you start realizing what you're really looking for. But it's that flip side. Like, you get a cool looking guy and he's going to get all the girls, but then later on in life, he's got nobody. I think it goes back to that guy that's sleeping with somebody new every single night of the week. Yeah. The emptiness that's going to be attached to that person.
And this is why, because in their 20s, people value significance so highly. So the cool looking guy is very significant.
Do we have a resurgence when we get older? Because you start seeing a lot of people when they're retiring, 50s and 60s, and they do want to get out of that marriage. And I remember having a conversation with someone that was much older than me not too long ago, and it was just, her thought process was, I don't want to spend the rest of my days with this man. Yeah. I want to find someone else that could give me some life back into my life. Right? So it's like, okay, I could be here for another 5 years. I could be here for another 20 years. And I don't want to be with this person that comes home, is retired, sits on the couch, watches TV, or does that routine Monday to Friday, Saturday to Sunday. And I think that's where it's like, you need to keep life moving. You need to keep trying stuff. And that's why you start seeing an increase in older people getting divorces and separating and wanting to find themselves with other people. Yeah. Are you seeing that? Are you working with couples of older age?
I've seen that personally in life. And I don't mean like me directly, but like I've seen that around. Like, I'm saying people who are not my clients. It could be friends or whatever. And that's exactly what I was talking about, where I'm going to say I think it's guys get very comfortable.
I agree.
Right?
They're used to it.
Yeah, and it's comfortable. Everything's good. And when, the woman says, I need some life back in me, what she's saying is, I need some variety. That's the need of variety. While the guy's like, we have comfort now. We have a house. We have a family. Everything's good.
We made it. But then you're going back to society. You're going back to, you're fulfilling what society's asking you to do.
Right. Yeah.
So you guys are empty nesters now. Kids have gone out. They have their own marriages. You're downsizing the house. Yeah. So you're doing everything that society telling you to do when you're forgetting to do what you want to do.
Right. Right. And you're not having fun anymore. So the good thing about you is like you value growth. So I see you always doing something exciting.
Yeah, but it may not always please everybody, because what if you meet somebody that doesn't want to do that? They want that stability and security, and they just want to stay put and shit like that, right?
Well, that's not the person for you then.
No, of course not, right?
Some people like that. But that's what you have to know yourself, and you have to know your partner. Don't lie to yourself. Don't say, apparently, like, for someone's top two needs, one of them has to be the same. Like, if somebody is like, so if somebody values certainty so highly and someone values variety so highly, they're not going to click. They have to
Yeah,
both.
that's a tough one.
You know what I mean? Because one's going to be like, no, just, put your money in the bank. And someone's going to be like, we could actually grow something. We could do a business or.
What are the 6 needs again?
So the first one, this is a great question. So there's the 6 human needs, and there's specific emotional states that we must and do experience 24/7, at least the first 4.
Okay.
Every action we take, any belief we have, any story we tell ourselves, it's because we've associated it to meet one or more of these needs.
Okay.
So the first need is the need for certainty. That's like security, comfortability. I have food on the table. I have money in the bank.
These needs are applicable to anybody at any age.
Anybody, any age, everybody in the whole effing world.
Okay.
You could use these needs for relationships, for business, for friends, for yourself, for personal, everything, because we all run on these needs. And we all do everything to meet our needs. We'll cheat, lie, anything to meet our needs.
Okay.
We don't have to, but I'm saying we'll do anything to meet our needs, not wants, needs. So the first one is the need for certainty, security, stability, comfortability. We need a certain amount. Like, we need to know our health is in good enough condition that we're not going to freak out. We're okay. The second need is the opposite need, which is the need for variety.
Okay.
We need change. We need something new, a new restaurant, a new book, or the
excitement.
Excitement. You need that. So I just saw right there, that's one of your top 2 needs, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
I saw that.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking to a client, I can see how they light up when I talk about the needs. The next need is a need for significance, to feel special, needed, wanted. Like what you do has meaning. You have meaning. You're important to your partner. You're appreciated by your partner. Yeah. And the next need is, I think, our deepest need, which is loving connection.
Okay.
To feel loving, connected with ourselves and with our partner, friends, family, whatever it is. We need that connection. The first 4 we meet 24/7, no matter what. Even if you have to lie to yourself, we'll meet that. We'll meet the first 4. And the last 2 you don't have to meet, but when you meet them, you feel fulfilled. So the next 2 is growth.
Okay.
If you're not growing, you're dying.
Yep.
If a relationship is not growing, it's dying.
Yep.
Even if we have, the perfect house and the perfect, 2.4 kids or whatever, and the picket fence and whatever, and everything's good, but it's not growing, it's dying.
Yep.
Okay. So there's growth. And then when you grow, you're able to fulfill the next need, which is contribution.
Okay.
Where you give beyond yourself. It could be kids. It could be building stuff together. I don't know if did you say what's important to you is inspiration as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say that someone you're with, they might say, let's help this organization.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Even this podcast you're doing, you're providing value.
Yeah, you're contributing.
You're contributing.
Yeah. I agree with all 6 of those needs.
Right.
But it doesn't matter what order they're in, but you're saying the first 4 are a must. The last 2 are not necessarily.
Yeah, a must in the sense we always meet them no matter what anyways.
Okay, got it.
Last 2 we don't have to meet, but when we do, we're fulfilled. So in a relationship, the best relationships are when the person feels all their needs are filled at 8s, 9s, and 10s.
Okay.
I feel very secure in my relationship. We have so much fun, so much variety. We're always doing something new, something exciting. I feel like I matter. I feel like there's so much love and connection. We're growing all the time. We're doing this, we're doing that, we're growing, and we're contributing to each other, or we're having kids, we're building. It could be business or projects or whatever. If you're meeting those needs at high levels, like nobody's gonna leave that relationship.
No.
But both people have to feel that way.
Now, can those needs change over time? Like, can one person in the relationship start to modify their needs, and now it starts to get them disconnected from the relationship?
So everybody, we always meet at least our first 4, but people tend to value 2 above the rest.
Got it.
For you, I'm kind of guessing it's growth and then variety.
Yeah.
Is it in that order, or is it variety first?
No, it's growth and variety.
So growth and variety,
yeah.
So I think the question it could be is, could your top 2 change? And the answer is, yeah. I think theoretically, but I don't know if they do.
But if they do by chance or whatever, because people want to grow or change or whatever, maybe they could look at their life differently. Will it affect the relationship because maybe they found the right partner and they're growing in variety together, and now one is maybe increasing or decreasing that, and then it's affecting the marriage at that time?
Yeah, good question.
Does that happen? Have you seen that happen?
Good question. I've never seen that happen. That's why I'm like, I'm not sure what to say. What I do know is like, if some people have to act what's natural to them. If they're like, let's say you love growth. If I see you in 10 years from now and you're like, I don't really like growth anymore, I would feel like there's something you're not aligned with your natural essence, like your natural.
I know, but at some point when I get to a certain age, growth is not going to be the number one. It's maybe variety is going to become the number one for me.
Or maybe certainty
or certain, exactly. Right. Like eventually you keep on. I mean,
good question. Yeah.
You start in a career, you choose it, you grow it, you build it. Once you achieve it, then what you want to do? You want to, or I guess you grow in another direction.
You grow in another direction. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
You grow in another direction because if that's who you naturally are, and that's what I'm all about. When I talk about being secure, I mean being yourself, and being yourself is what comes natural to you. So like I see you always valuing growth.
Is it okay and is it safe to just, as you grow and you have scars of life attached to you?
Yeah.
I don't mean that in a negative. That you don't care as much about what others think of you.
Yeah.
Because now you, like you said at the beginning of this whole show, it's about you first, right? Yeah. So it's like, as I find that as you get older, you start to put yourself first back in line, right?
Yeah.
So then you're growing and you don't care. So it's like I don't want to go this way. I want to go this way, but we should go this way.
Why?
Well, no. Just because this way makes me happier. So I want to be happier, right? Gotcha. So it's like you also grow and you find out that you want to have peace and happiness in your life. And so you're driven to go down those paths instead of what others are asking you to go down.
I believe peace and happiness, whatever that means
to anybody,
whatever like that looks like to anybody, is being yourself.
Yeah.
Is expressing what's natural. Period.
Be a lot more happier people if people would just take off the filter and just be themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're too afraid because of society.
Yep. Society, upbringing, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I know for you hate that because you're like, no, you got to be transparent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I understand your personality because it's almost like for you, it's probably like they're like masking themselves. It's almost like a manipulation almost. Am I right?
That's how I look at it.
I know that's how you look at it, yeah.
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense. Who gives a shit about, okay, so whatever, you got no makeup on. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, I think because we want to feel significant because what we really want is love and connection. But I say live, and again, this is like a basis of my coaching, live out of love and connection. That means live out of passion, live out of yourself.
So whatever answer you're looking for, you're driven to love and connection. So whatever question you're asked or you ask, the answer has to
come out of love and connection.
It has to, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think is the basis.
I agree. I totally agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That would make you a happier human being.
Yeah. So if you're doing what I think is, there's a quote that says, your friends don't mind you or whatever, and if they do, they're not your friends.
Of course, yeah.
Kind of thing. And I think you could count on one finger, maybe in two fingers, how many close friends you actually have.
It gets even smaller. As you get older, it gets less and less.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. You only need one partner, kind of thing. So when you start living yourself, your true friends and that real partner, it's going to become very small. And it might even take time to find that person, but it's worth it.
So if we're inevitably on that path to go that way, why do we care so much what so many people think?
Yeah, I think from an early age, we're taught and we're shown to disconnect from ourselves. It comes out of fear, I think. Yeah, it comes out of fear.
By your experiences in life.
I think you're taught it. Yeah, I think you're taught it first, and now you see the world through those lenses.
You're taught family, parents, siblings.
Everything, yeah. Everything around you. Parents and society. But I don't like to blame society. I think it starts in the home.
Well, I agree, for sure. Because that's a reflection of who you are or what you become.
in the home. Yeah.
Yeah, where you started, right? So that's where you're hugely influenced, right?
So I would tell people, so again, I got to be careful with my words here, but I do like to be honest. I think, now we live in this generation where you think whatever you are and you're that. In a sense, I'm a CN Tower. I identify myself as a CN Tower. I believe that's a little bit like, okay, that's your reality, but that might not, I think it's a little far-fetched.
I don't need to accept your reality.
I don't need to accept it.
I can disagree with your reality.
I can disagree with you. I can respect you as a person,
Yes.
and we could have a good conversation and whatever.
Yes.
But so what I'm saying is, like, I think it goes a little bit too far nowadays when people just say things that are just, I think, are way out of reality.
I have lots of respect for a lot of people that I speak to, and they bring up their personal beliefs, their religious beliefs, their political beliefs or whatever, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that I agree with them all the time.
Right.
And I have every right to say to them, I don't agree with you, but that's fine. But don't try to instill that in me.
Of course, yeah.
Because it's never going to work, first of all, right? And I still respect that that's what your thought process is. Right. But I find it very difficult that a lot of people that do that, they want to influence it on you. Yeah. And I'm too old for influencing.
Were you ever influenced? I feel like you kind of pushed back.
No way at all.
F this.
Never. I never, whatever. You grow up and you're surrounded by drugs. You're surrounded by, I was in the film business, man. There was drugs everywhere. It's just, I never got into that. There's alcohol in the film business and in construction. I never got into that. I'm moderate, right? Like, I don't have any vices. So it's just like that. You're presented things and I made an assessment, and it's not for me. Yeah. Simple as that. That's how I looked at it, right? And so you go through life that way. Did it help or hinder finding a relationship? I can't fault any of the relationships from my past. I can never do that because those relationships shaped me to the person who I am today. Yes. Like, I'm grateful for those people and what they were a part of my life at the time. Right? Because I'm respectful of it because this is the man that I am. This is the human being that I am today as a result of that. But it's also educated me to, if I meet somebody new, right off the bat, you meet me, you know exactly what you're going to get. Yes. Simple as that. Yeah. And if you think you can try to change me, good luck with that. That conversation is going to last 2 seconds. Yeah. Because I've never wanted in my life ever, or nor have I tried to, change another human being. Because it's impossible. Yeah. You are who you are based on everything that we talked about, that this is what you became as a human being. So for me to come along and I just met you and I go, you know what, you should change this about you. You should change this about you. And I'm like, good luck with that. That's never going to, not with me as an individual, right? So it's just, and then the relationship ends for whatever reason. And I'm like, okay, well, that's the red light, green light. Yeah. Simple as that, right? Am I cold and callous? I don't think so.
Nope. I don't think so either.
I'm on my way to connection, love, and connection. I'm on my way. I want to find that. So obviously, if you're trying to change me and we're not connecting, there's no love and no connection here. Right. So I'm not interested in going down that path. I'm going to go down this way.
Right. I agree with you. That's the standards.
I wish I knew that in my 20s. That'd be amazing, man.
That's why we're here to.
Yeah,
anybody watching this today.
Yeah, exactly. So
I was saying that, I think nowadays sometimes this, whatever you identify with is who you are kind of thing has gone, in my opinion, at least a little too far.
Of course.
But what was I going to say?
If they want to, by all means, enjoy.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I'm just, I guess my reality, like my perspective is like, okay, like that's just a little too far for me anyways. But the point is you define yourself in the sense you be yourself, whatever is actually natural, like however you naturally are. If you value growth kind of thing, if you're a straight shooter, if you like to, break a few eggs to get to if that's how you naturally are, be that. Don't let, I don't know why you would listen to anybody else and you don't, but I'm saying, I think that's the number one thing to grow, for all kids to know, teenagers to know, people in their 20s, be your effing self. Be yourself, and you'll find the right people. All the rest is fluff.
Is it cheesy, Giovanni, to say if you just be yourself, the right person will find you? Is that too cheesy to say?
A little. No, I think that's part of it. That's part of it. That's part of it. I mean, you have to actually.
Because you'll attract.
Yeah.
Like if you're just yourself.
Yeah.
Then that's what you'll attract.
Yes.
Right? It could happen that way, right?
Yeah, when we say that's who you attract, we don't mean just sitting at home like meditating.
No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm saying as you as an individual, you want to be honest. You don't want to be filtered. You don't want to present a portrayal of who you are. You want to be you. You want to be yourself. Yeah. So if you want to be yourself, then you go to the grocery store this way. You pump gas this way. This is your hobbies on the side. This is who you are. This is the person. This is the person, man or woman who you are. That inevitably a person who is supposed to be connected with you will eventually cross paths with you in your life because you're being yourself. Yeah. And most likely that person will also be themselves. Yes. And you guys will cross paths and then you'll connect.
Yes.
And then at that point, you start the part of a beautiful relationship, possibly.
Yes.
Instead of you be a character, and then you meet and then you pretend and then it falls apart.
Yeah, and 10 years later, you're going, why isn't my marriage working? And blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So I think if you're pretending, you're like, that's your comfort zone now. So you'll see someone who's pretending and that's comfortable for you. So you'll go towards that. If you're real, you'll see what's real.
Got it.
Kind of thing. And again, anybody listening, real doesn't mean I'm special, I'm the best. Real is it's just you. Like I always say, like an apple's an apple, an orange is an orange, a pineapple's a peach is a peach. It's not that one is so amazing. You might like one more, but it's that they're just all themselves. When we say I'm awesome, I look in the mirror and I go, I'm awesome, I'm number one, I'm amazing, I'm so good looking. That's significance. Mm-hmm. But when we just say I am who I am, and that's love. That's beauty. That just is. That's where, like, just look at kids. Kids are not changing in the mirror, going, "I'm the bed." They're just themselves.
Yeah, kids are just themselves,
and they're just.
Kids will just fall and trip and scuff and get dirty and just like whatever, slobber, just drink and
no problem.
Spit. Like they don't care.
You think again, if your friends don't want to be friends with you because of that, they're not your friends.
Simple. Your
friends would laugh with you if you fall on the ground, like.
Yeah.
So
I know that we're going to get close to wrapping it up, but I know that we just scratched the surface here, Giovanni. I know you do a bunch of other stuff. Do you want to hint at what others thought, like if someone wants to reach out to you, what else you talk about? Because we just talked about relationship couples. We talked a little bit about life, but you also help other people do other things as well too. Yeah.
So a big thing I'm kind of like promoting right now is if someone has an emotionally charged event, I help them get over it, and usually very fast. For example, a family member of mine got in a car accident some years ago. You know, it wasn't really bad, but it was enough that every time they got in the car, they were shaking. They were like a little bit.
As a passenger or as a driver?
They were a passenger.
At the accident.
In the accident, yeah.
And so when they get into a car now, as a driver or as a passenger, it's the same reaction?
Good question. So when they got in, this is a past, when they got in the car, I think as a driver, because they would always say, I need to drive to see my parents and whatever. I think, so I'm pretty sure it was, if I remember correctly, it was as a driver. Okay. They would drive, but they would be nervous. They'd be a little bit shaky. Now, based on, what you've heard about, people going to see all these professionals, whatever, how long do you think it would take for someone to get over an event like that?
I remember getting into an accident when I was younger, and it happened in the morning, and by the afternoon, I was on my motorcycle riding again.
Okay, because you love variety and growth.
Because it happened, I survived, I was good, and then I got back on.
That's interesting.
And my mentality was like, just get back on the horse.
Right.
Simple as that.
Right.
But I mean, that's for me. I'm making it as simplified as that. But other people I've seen that. I've seen people be in my car and they're kind of really tense and they get a little nervous, right? It's not that I'm an aggressive driver or anything like that, but other people are different in different situations. So I have no idea how long it would take. Right?
So some people, like you hear them talking to like professionals for months,
really
years. You haven't heard this before?
No.
I talk about the event again. They tell me to do what's it called? Like exposure therapy, where they get into the car, they drive for 1 minute and then 2 minutes. And then, the next day they drive for, 2.5 minutes kind of thing. Like they're trying to they talk about the accident over and over again and what it means to them, all that kind of stuff. The thing is, when you have an accident like that, it happens at the subconscious level, where you get scared at the subconscious level, and your subconscious is telling you don't get in there because last time you almost died. You have to address at the subconscious level. So what the tools I have is there's NLP. you know what NLP is?
No.
It's neuro-linguistic programming. And what
Okay.
that means is it's waking hypnosis.
Okay.
What that means is I'd have to like do it to really show it, but you kind of picture things in a certain way. It's very simple. You do it with your eyes open. There's no, voodoo stuff. I don't believe in that stuff. There's no there's no hypnotizing.
Can you do it now? Like, is there?
I could. It might take at least 5 minutes or 5-10 minutes.
That's fine. We got time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So is there an experience where, and if Angelina wants to come in as well, if not, is there an?
So what do you want? Like a traumatic experience?
So I don't deal with trauma as a life coach, but an emotionally charged experience.
Emotionally charged experience.
Where every time you think of it, you just either get really nervous or upset or.
See, there really isn't. Like,
For you, yeah.
well, no, because I guess I've gotten over them. That I wouldn't be triggered by it, I guess, if I brought it up. So it'd be difficult. But I mean, for example, like a car crash is one, I guess, or maybe a near-death experience, right? I've had plenty of near-death experience. And then what I did to solve it was I just got back on the horse sort of thing. I've had friends of mine who've had motorcycle accidents, like bad motorcycle accidents, survived, never been on a bike ever again. And when I've been in 3 motorcycle accidents, and the first thing I did when I got my bike back is I got back on the bike. I had to get back on the bike, right? And it's the moments like if I've broken a collarbone, if I damage something physically, as soon as it's healed, the first thing I do is start using it.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure that it's still working again. So you keep on which is really weird because I guess that physical trauma or physical situation in my life, I just go front and center and attack it. But I guess if it's an emotional one, I confront it, I discuss it, I come over it, and then I'm done. But
Okay, wait a second. So when you were talking about emotional situation, I think you pictured something. You remembered
yeah, but I'm also like I don't want to share that.
Okay,
yeah,
so you know what?
why.
You know what? This exercise, you don't even have to tell me what it is.
Okay, all right.
And that's the beauty of it.
Okay, all right.
I wouldn't do it here if it wasn't.
No,
if it was
okay.
private. So when you talked about an emotional experience, I saw you remembered an emotional experience.
Yeah, I went right to it.
Yeah, you went right to it. I saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
So we could do that. You don't have to tell me anything about it.
Okay.
Nothing. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, okay. So it's going to sound funny, but just work with me. Do it with me. The feeling, the representation of it, if it was a shape in front of you, what shape would it be?
Well, the first shape that came to my mind would be a heart shape.
Interesting. Okay. And this is like a negative, like it's an emotionally charged experience that's like hurting you?
It's not hurting me these days. No, it's not. But it's something from my past.
Okay. Because when you went to it, it was a little bit, I think.
Yeah, but I just like, okay, so I
There
don't
you
see.
go.
I don't know
That's
how
better.
you.
That's better, yeah.
Yeah. So how do you want to do that?
So you have to go into the feeling. I forgot to mention that. You have to go into the feeling, into the memory.
Okay. Yeah. Which I'm doing that right now, right? So you're asking me about a shape, and that's the first shape that I'm connecting with that situation.
Heart?
Yes.
Okay. Where is it in front of you? Is it like here, up, down, side?
It's up.
Up where?
It's higher. It's like up.
Up, okay. What color is it?
Red.
Is it light, dark?
It's almost pale.
Pale. Interesting. Okay. Is it like solid or is it flowing?
It's slightly out of focus.
Slightly out of focus.
But it is a solid. It's a solid item, but it's slightly out of focus on the edges.
But it's a solid, so it's not moving. Okay.
No.
And you say so it's pale. Is it like light or dim?
I wouldn't say it's dim. It's just pale.
It's
almost
pale,
like
okay.
it's like a pale tone.
Pale tone. Okay. Okay. So we'll do this. Make it like bring it into focus because you said it was like fuzzy on the outside. Bring it into focus.
Okay. All right.
Does that feel different?
It lowers it.
It lowers the feeling.
It lowers where it is represented.
Okay. Where is it now?
It's probably more at eye level now.
Like here. Okay.
Yeah.
So like in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's in focus now. Instead of pale, what's your favorite color?
Green.
Green. Okay. Let's make it green.
Okay.
How does that feel now?
It's confusing.
Good.
Okay.
Good. Now you said it was solid. Let's make it like moving. The color is like moving inside of it.
Okay.
How does that feel?
It's adding to the confusion.
Good. And I'll explain why that's good after.
Okay.
Okay. Now, move it to your right.
Okay.
How do you feel?
It's not moving anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not moving anymore.
How much are you feeling that feeling now?
It's getting heavier.
It's getting heavier. Okay.
Yeah.
So it actually might be coming up now as we're processing it. So stay with it.
Okay.
Go back to the center.
Okay.
How do you feel now?
It's about the same.
Okay. Move it to your left.
It's gotten lighter.
It's gone later?
Yeah.
Okay.
Weight lighter.
Weight.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to center.
Okay.
To your right again.
It feels about the same, but for whatever reason, it feels like it's heavier.
It's heavier here.
Yes.
Okay. What about if you move it upright?
It's, how do I describe it? It feels more like a loss.
Okay, got you. Center again, center right.
Yeah.
Down right.
That starts to make it disappear when it goes down.
Like you don't see it anymore?
Yeah.
Okay. Bring it center.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, right. Center.
Okay.
Okay, so see how you feel now.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Let's bring it to the right because that's where the heaviness was. Bring it to the right.
Okay.
Feel how you feel.
Okay.
Now start making it smaller.
Okay.
Smaller.
Yeah, it's disappearing.
And how you feeling right now?
Anxious now a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a tense. There's like a constriction.
Okay.
Right.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. That I wasn't feeling at the beginning of this whole thing.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So small. So now it's going to start going
Further away.
Far away. And as it goes further, it goes smaller, further,
Yeah.
smaller, further, smaller, further,
Yeah.
smaller, further, smaller.
Yeah.
It keeps going automatically on its own
Okay.
until you can't even see it anymore.
Okay.
How are you feeling right now?
It feels lighter now because I can hardly see it.
Because you can't see it?
Yeah.
Right. Feels lighter.
Yeah.
And how does it feel? How do you feel now?
It's less constriction now.
Less constriction,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So I think what was happening there is I think you probably blocked it when
Yep.
it happened. And doing this is part of this exercise is processing the emotions again. Because we get stuck when we don't process the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what that did was process the emotion. That's why you were feeling it more. Let's bring it back now to the original. Let's bring it back
Okay.
and see how you feel.
Well, now the heaviness went back on.
The exact same?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say, so we can't do much more here because we'd have to talk a little bit more, but I would say you have to process that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's going on here. And that would take longer. So
So
can't
process what? The definition of that?
No, so it's not intellectually, it's emotionally.
Okay.
You have to feel this out.
Got it.
Even though like you've taught yourself to kind of like always push through, you have to feel this out.
So that's what you do. You work with couples on that. So you try to figure out what that emotional has happened in their life.
If that's with couples, but I think we were talking about like for personal coaching,
Yeah,
if someone comes in. So in this case, it sounds like this is something from the past.
Oh, it's way back. Yeah.
It was way past. You kind of pushed it down and it's coming up now. You need to emotionally process it. An easy way to do that, you could play around with on your own time, is if you look down to your right, because I'll mirror you. When you look down to your right, you're emotionally expressing.
But then if you do it down to your
And
left,
then down to your left,
you're suppressing it.
you're remembering the old, the old feeling. Those are called eye-accessing cues. So on your own time, I would even move my eyes from side to side around and see if that helps process the emotion.
So what's happening to myself or a person physically at that point? Why I was feeling a little constricted, right?
Okay, so firstly, you were feeling confused, right?
Yes.
Which is an amazing thing. Every time someone feels confused, it's because we broke a pattern.
Okay.
Because you were like, someone was like stuck in the pattern, and the confusion means we broke the pattern and your brain's trying to figure out what's going on.
Got it.
That's why I said good. I think that anxiousness, the feeling of anxiousness was number one, it was coming out again. So it was processing. And you're like, oh my God, because it was a very emotionally charged event.
Yeah, but it's always been there. Like, I haven't forgotten that. It's always been there, right? But I guess I haven't really confronted it.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
You pushed it down, you moved forward, that kind of thing. So I think that was happening. Also, when something's been like that for so long and it starts moving, I believe, like naturally your body starts going boom, 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 because it's different. Like it's almost like you moved something that was there for so long, and it feels very uncomfortable in a way, quote unquote scary in a way.
Yeah.
Like your body reacts that way, even if it's not. So that might be happening as well.
So you've had a lot of success with couples, like when you're...
So this is more for like individuals,
someone
had
right?
like
Okay.
An emotionally charged event.
What was it called again?
So I use NLP,
Okay.
neuro-linguistic programming, which is like waking hypnosis. And the example I did, so this is an event that the car accident was something that had just happened 1 or 2 weeks prior. So again, some people, they would have to talk about it for months or years or whatever. I worked with this person. It was something like 20 minutes, gone.
And she was fine?
And she was fine, and now she's able to get into the car.
No problem at all.
She needs to drive to her parents at that time. She needs to do all this stuff.
So what did you do? A similar thing?
A similar thing, yeah.
Okay.
I think in your case, this was like an old thing, and it looked like you had to, like, there was more processing to do.
Yeah.
And maybe on your own time, maybe not, in a studio. But in this case, it was only, something like 2 weeks prior. It was a family member. They were comfortable with me. They cried for a couple minutes, and then they felt peace. They were able to go into like the car now, and they said everything's fine.
Wow. What are the other things that you do as well?
Oh gosh,
Lots of stuff.
yeah.
How long have you been doing it, Giovanni?
My whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
How young are you?
How young do I think I look like?
I don't know.
I guess I don't take offense.
Late 30s.
36. Yeah.
There you go. That was my guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people go, "You're so mature. You must be 40." I'm like, not really.
It's got nothing to do with maturity, man. But you do other things as well too. I just want you to share it with other people if they want to reach out.
There's so many things. What are you thinking of like that?
What do you mean?
Like, is there something like? Is there something you wrote down?
No, just from your website, because there's other. I mean, you talk about all kinds of stuff, right? So it's like overcoming challenges and things like that.
So
right?
yeah, so that's for marriage and couples coaching.
Yeah.
And I want people to see, like, I want them to go through a list and be like, oh yeah, there's trust building or emotional connection, or that's for someone to see. I'm really focusing now on marriage coaching and couples coaching, because I think if you're not happy in your relationship, you're not happy.
Yeah.
And I think that's an area that people, they might ignore themselves or whatever, but if their relationship is suffering, they're gonna come in.
Makes
and I
sense.
think relationships are so important. So that's what I'm really focusing on now. And for the life coaching thing, I bring people back to who they really are. So people call me when they're not feeling self-love. They're not feeling confident.
Yeah.
And they're not feeling motivation. And when I say motivation, I do not mean that rah motivation. I mean where you have that drive. Whatever naturally motivates you.
Got it.
Like, let's say if you came in and you were unmotivated, I'd find out, firstly, what your top 2 needs really are. Okay, we find out their growth and variety. Are you growing? You'd probably be like, I'm not, because I thought that was bad to grow. You would never say
Or maybe
that,
you're thinking that you're not growing fast enough, or things are not moving quickly enough.
Okay, so that's another pattern I have to figure out. Yeah.
Got it.
So some people, they might have this pressure on themselves to always grow, always grow, always grow. The growth part is natural. The pressure is not. But they've been pushing themselves. They get a little bit burnt out. What's even the point anymore? I'm getting kind of tired. And now I feel unmotivated. It's not that you're unmotivated. It's that you've been running this pattern of pushing yourself. So what I would do is I would help them break that pattern. So they just get back to what's their natural growth level. So that's when they feel motivated. Getting back to who they really are, that's when they feel the self-love. Getting back to who they really are, that's when they feel the confidence, because they know what their skills are, they know what their abilities are, and they could now maximize it. So like, I'm really good at, I've studied personalities. I'm really good at pinpointing someone's personality. And I think you kind of saw me doing that here.
Yeah.
Someone points in, someone's personality. Like, for example, like your, top cognitive function, it's called, is, you like to get results.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Everything, like so much for you is about results. You'll organize things, you'll whatever, it's for results.
Yeah.
Right?
You want to complete something. You want to get to the end. Yeah.
Not everybody's like that. That's the thing. And I know that sounds weird.
Yeah.
It seems weird, right? But I got to find out what makes you tick. If results make you tick, and you'll organize things, you'll read things, you'll do whatever to make it happen, and you want to grow. And I bet you love to contribute to your clan, to the people closest to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're always trying to add value.
So where's that come from, though? Does that start as a kid, or does that start like when do you realize that that's what you have, that you want to have results, that you want to achieve certain things?
I think that's naturally, like that's how your brain works.
Okay.
I think you're always like that.
Okay.
If you express that, growing up or not, that's different. But that's
and everybody's different.
Yeah, but I bring people into how your brain works, how your personality works. You love results. You love helping your clan. You love adding value. You love building things.
Yeah.
Right. You're intuitive as well, right?
I'm not disagreeing with any of the stuff that you're bringing up, man. Like it's almost the show's been about me and stuff like that. But no, it's great. I just want to let everybody know. So I mean, let me share out the deets before we do the 12 questions. So you're a life coach, marriage coach, couples coach, but you're all different kinds of coaches as well too. No, yeah, those as well. So website is www.inspireyourselflc.org, and the email to get a hold of you is inspireyourselflc@gmail.com, and on IG it's life_coach_Toronto, and his phone number is 647-231-5727. You ready for the 12 questions? I'll change it up to relationships.
Yes,
instead
please.
of construction. What's your favorite relationship word?
When I was reading these questions, they're so hard, but relationship word. You know what? The first one that came to me
I don't even know what that would be. Really.
Was love, even though that sounds so sappy. Love, connection, love.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite relationship word?
I feel the anger, but I can't figure out what the word is.
Just failure? Or I don't know.
Change. Like someone trying to change you kind of thing.
What turns you on about relationships?
Oh, the connection. The connection.
What turns you off about relationships?
The restriction of someone trying to restrict you.
What's your favorite curse word?
Can we say that?
Yeah, of course, man.
I don't swear that much. I don't know. Fuck. Yeah.
What's your favorite vehicle? Anything in the world?
My limo.
Your limo? What's your least favorite vehicle?
A tricycle.
I haven't heard that in a while.
I'm not a vehicle guy.
What relationship sound or noise do you love? I don't know what the hell that's going to be. Like, what relationship sound or noise do you love?
Oh, now I know how like famous people feel when they have to answer these questions.
Well, the original question is what construction sound or noise do you love? But
okay.
So I just changed the word construction to relationship. So what relationship sound or noise do you love?
Boom, 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 boom.
What relationship sound or noise do you hate? Yelling. Yeah. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt one day, Giovanni?
You know how much I've thought about that, and I can't figure anything else out.
There's nothing else?
No, you know what? I actually could. Dancer. All right.
What profession would you not like to do?
Working in an office.
That one comes up a lot on this show.
Does it really?
Oh, it does. Lots. Not a cubicle, not an office. Last question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at those pearly gates?
When I read this question, I thought that was funny. Have fun. Have fun and connect with people.
Have fun. Giovanni, thank you so much, man, for being on the show.
Thank you, man.
It was actually it was funny to meet you, and then we get chatting, and then I'm like, come on the show, and we get talking. So it's like, this has been a good talk.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
I hope someone, people reach out to you and they have some chatting with you, because there's a lot of help that's needed in relationships. Nobody's got it figured out. No one's perfect.
Right.
Okay. Thank you very much. We're out of here, Angeline.